Ever tried to buy a US stock only to be hit with a surprise currency conversion fee? Or maybe you're dreaming of investing in the American market but are put off by the hassle of constantly exchanging Canadian dollars. You're not alone. Many Canadian investors grapple with this very issue. The question on everyone's mind is, how can we easily access US markets without bleeding money on exchange rates? One popular brokerage often comes up in these conversations, Questrade. So, the burning question we're tackling today is, can I open a USD account with Questrade? Before we dive into Questrade specifically, let's understand why holding USD is so important for Canadian investors. Imagine you want to buy shares of Apple, which, as you know, trades on the Nasdaq in US dollars. If you only hold Canadian dollars in your brokerage account, every time you buy or sell US stocks, your broker will convert your CAD to USD, and vice versa. Each conversion comes with a fee, often hidden in the exchange rate itself. These fees can eat into your profits, especially if you're actively trading. Holding a USD account eliminates this constant conversion. You deposit USD, you buy US stocks with USD, and you receive USD when you sell. No conversions, no fees. This is particularly beneficial for active traders, dividend investors receiving US dividends, or anyone regularly dealing with US assets. Now, let's bring Questrade into the picture. Questrade is a well-known Canadian online brokerage, popular for its low commissions and diverse investment options. But does it offer the ability to hold USD? The short answer is yes, Questrade does allow you to hold USD in your account. However, it's not quite as straightforward as simply opening a separate USD account. Instead, Questrade offers what they call dual currency accounts. What does this mean? Basically, your Questrade account is structured to hold both Canadian and US dollars simultaneously. You don't have two separate accounts, rather, you have one account with the ability to hold funds in both currencies. This is a crucial distinction. It's not a separate USD-only account, but rather an account that can handle both currencies. So, how do you actually get USD into your Questrade account? There are a few different ways. The most common method is through what's known as Norbert's Gambit. This strategy allows you to convert CAD to USD at a much more favorable exchange rate than what your bank or brokerage would typically offer. Here's a simplified explanation of Norbert's Gambit. You buy a US-listed exchange-traded fund, ETF, that also has a Canadian-listed equivalent. A popular choice is DLR, Canadian listed, and DLR.U, US listed, both tracking the US dollar. You purchase the Canadian listed version, DLR, with your Canadian dollars. Then, you contact Questrade and ask them to journal your DLR shares to the US listed version, DLR.U. This effectively moves your shares from the Canadian market to the US market. Because both ETFs represent the same underlying asset, the US dollar, this transfer is done at a very minimal cost, essentially the cost of the ETF itself. Finally, you sell the DLR.U shares on the US market, receiving US dollars. This method avoids the hefty exchange rate markups that banks and brokers typically charge. It's a bit more involved than a simple currency exchange, but the savings can be significant, especially for larger amounts. There are plenty of online resources and tutorials that detail the exact steps of Norbert's Gambit, so I encourage you to do some further research if you plan to use this method. Another way to get USD into your Questrade account is by directly transferring USD from another financial institution. If you have a USD bank account at another bank, you can typically wire transfer funds to your Questrade account. However, wire transfers usually come with fees, both from the sending and receiving institutions, so it's essential to compare costs and weigh this option against Norbert's Gambit. Now, let's address some common questions people have about holding USD with Questrade. Firstly, are there any fees associated with holding USD in your Questrade account? Generally, there are no monthly or annual fees specifically for holding USD. However, Keep in mind that standard trading commissions and other applicable fees still apply when you buy and sell U.S. securities. Another important point to consider is the impact of currency fluctuations. While holding USD eliminates the need for constant conversions during trades, the value of your USD holdings relative to the Canadian dollar will still fluctuate. If the Canadian dollar strengthens against the US dollar, the value of your USD holdings, when converted back to CAD, will decrease. Conversely, if the Canadian dollar weakens against the US dollar, the value of your USD holdings will increase. This is inherent in holding any foreign currency and is not specific to Questrade. It's also worth noting that Questrade offers margin accounts, which allow you to borrow funds to invest. If you have a margin account and hold USD, you can potentially use those USD holdings as collateral. This can be useful for leveraging your investments, but it's crucial to understand the risks associated with margin trading before using this feature. So, to recap, can you open a USD account with Questrade? While it's not a separate, standalone USD account, Questrade allows you to hold and trade US dollars within your existing account. This is facilitated through their dual currency account structure, which is a significant advantage for Canadian investors looking to access U.S. markets efficiently. Using strategies like Norbert's Gambit can further reduce currency conversion costs and maximize your returns. Remember, it's always important to do your own research and understand the specific features and fees associated with any brokerage account before making a decision. Consider your individual investment needs, trading frequency, and comfort level with different currency conversion methods. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.